Hola, brethren. Today, I want to talk to you guys about God's hidden. What I'm referring to when I say hidden is people who God has placed in a very stagnant position. Like, they're not moving anywhere. In fact, they're not moving at all. Like, whatsoever. I'm talking about job-wise, financial-wise. But they are moving spiritually-wise. And these hidden are God's treasure, His special times with these people. Now, I want to just put a disclaimer out there that I'm not saying that God's hidden is God's favorite or His most loved, or anything like that. I know that in the past, those kind of Christian beliefs, make its rounds on YouTube and church and other stuff. I don't do that. That's foolish to me. I don't participate in any of those sort of things or ideologies. When I speak about God's hidden, I'm also not referring to being stuck for, let's say, a week and then God has you moving forward. There's a people, okay, that God has in a stagnant place. They literally do nothing other than be with Him for long periods of time. It could be like a year to 2 years to 3 years. Just they're doing nothing, but God just has them with Him. That's what I'm referring to God's hidden. God does that because He is training these people. He is guiding these people, teaching them, working with them, and most importantly, He is having them learn how to move in His Spirit in a very accurate, precise way. The way that Jesus moved with God's Spirit 100% of the time on earth, He is training a people because there's a shift happening. Before I get into that, I do want to say that God's working on everybody referring to His redeemed people, bring them into greater depth of Himself. And through His Holy Spirit, all Christians, going at each person's own pace, working on people, healing people, things like that, yada, 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 right? But when I'm referring to God's hidden, I'm not saying God's special. I'm saying these people are just hidden, and they've been that way for years. He has them doing nothing at all, but just existing, being with Him. Of course, they eat and they shower and things like that. They might go to school or something, or they might work part-time, but these people are stagnant, meaning they're not pursuing in the world. They're just pursuing in the spiritual realm. They spend lots of time just with Him. That's it. And God brings them through a lot of tests, a lot of trials, and those people, okay, those people don't have much. They don't have much. Why? Because they're not doing anything to further themselves in this world. Why? Because God has them just in one place, just spending time with Him for years, okay? For like 5 years. If they do a little bit of moving, okay, a little bit, but God has them in a place that's just with Him 24/7. He demands their time and their energy. in their space, and he continues to pursue them no matter how they feel about it. Those hidden ones. Okay, so right now there's a shift that's happening in the atmosphere, and I'm not referring to just my part of the world, because I live in Washington State. I'm referring to Earth in general. There's a shift happening, meaning we are going to the next phase of the last days. There's a lot of things happening right now, but they're going to continue to, all over the world, things are going to get worse and worse, and wars and problems and, new world order kind of situation. And God is training a people these hidden ones, to move in a quiet way. These people, when he's ready to put them out into the world, these people are going to be extremely powerful, and they're going to move with the movement and power of the Holy Spirit. I'm not talking about pre-trib or post-trib or tribulation. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm talking about right now. I'm living on this earth, okay? Alive, living. These people are going to move with the movement of the wind, okay? But they're going to be as powerful as a tsunami, right? And these are everyday people. Everyday people, men and women, young to old. Everyday people who you look at and you don't think they're much. They're not much, If you look at them, they're not the most beautiful, they're not the most talented, they're not the most well-educated, they're not great speakers. Or some of them, can be naturally smart at one thing or whatever. But these are people that people usually overlook, and God is building them up for such an amazing and beautiful purpose, to be a pillar in these last days. And this pillars keep building steady. These pillars steady the church. They cover people. They cover other Christians in prayer and fasting and getting rid of demonic strongholds. These people just existing. These people just moving. These people just talking. They are Jesus. I would say they are Jesus coming to earth through them, through his Holy Spirit, in a very quiet but very powerful way. These people, I want to tell you to take courage. Take courage. Be silent and be with him and move with him and learn. Even though it's really hard, even though it's really difficult, I want to encourage you to continue to move with him, and continue to be encouraged and seek God, because time it's almost ready to be brought out from this hiddenness. I only know about maybe one or two people that's in this specific hidden place. But if other hidden people find this, because we spend a lot of time on the YouTube, especially when God tests us, and I am one of them for sure. And when God tests us, and it's too much, and we get mad, and so we'll just backslide on purpose and go on YouTube and kind of get our mind off whatever. I want you to keep courage, because time is of the essence and we will be brought out. So when these hidden ones will be brought out, God gave me an example of them like of us, like a beautiful flower in a rainforest. And this rainforest is, no human being has ever trenched in this rainforest this far. This is a area that it's really hard for human beings to get to. But God made a flower in the middle of that shrubbery, beautiful and elegant and wonderful. And you might think, why would God create a flower that nobody can see, nobody can get to? Because it really is, he created that flower simply for him to know, for him to look at, for him to take pleasure in, and no one else. And he takes pleasure that no one else knows it about it, or knows its worth or its value. That is a perfect way to describe the hidden ones. And there will be a time when God will make that flower, uproot that flower from its place and move it to where other people can see it and find it. But that flower won't look as magnificent as it once was. It'll look dull, it'll look boring. But it will maintain its radiance on the inside. That flower will have, let's say that flower is something that can cure any disease, but it'll look like everyday shrubbery. The hidden ones, we're not gonna burst out in chariots and in wings of gold. We're gonna look like everyday people, everyday humans. We're still gonna be imperfect in a lot of ways and things like that. We're gonna move powerfully in the realm of the Holy Spirit and move with the hand of God, and it'll be amazing. And take courage. Be ready. Be purposeful in everything you do. And more importantly, listen to God, because the training is worth it. I just know it is. I have a feeling. Bye, fam.